Today I'm reacting to your Raw after SummerSlam hot takes. Hot takes is a weekly video series where I give you all a platform to be able to voice your thoughts, whether they're good or bad, about the current state of professional wrestling. So if you want to be featured in next week's hot takes video, make sure that you're following me on X. I ask for your hot takes after every episode of Raw, as well as every episode of SmackDown. And premium live events as well, don't forget that. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I'm confident you're going to fall in love with his YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And yes, folks, I still have that nasty SummerSlam flu, so just deal with me for a couple days as I get over this. But for now, let's read your stupid shit. Gunther should not hold the World Heavyweight Championship past WrestleMania. He should drop it to Cena at WrestleMania 41. All right, so there's two parts on this, and I want to comment on both of them. I agree with you. I don't think that we need another year-plus long reign from Gunther in order to bring prestige to the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that the championship feels prestigious as it is, and Gunther holding this championship only elevates it even more. Personally, I've also been enjoying the fact that we've been getting different champions every couple of months. Just in 2024 alone, we've had Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre for 5 minutes, Damian Priest, and now Gunther. I like the fact that we're having a bit of a revolving door here and giving different people an opportunity in the main event scene. And I just don't think that we need another historic championship run from Gunther with the World Heavyweight Championship this time. Now, in terms of John Cena at WrestleMania 41, obviously from here on out, if you just think that I'm the John Cena mark and you can't take me seriously when it comes to any John Cena opinions because of that, then you should probably tune out. I love this idea, mostly because John Cena and Gunther are just a match made in heaven in terms of wrestling characters, because Gunther is the guy that's the wrestling purist, and he's made it clear that he hates showmanship, that he hates entertainers, and who is like, oh my God, the Fly is back. Who is the prototypical entertainment guy in WWE history? Who is the showman of the WWE? It's John Cena. On top of that, when it comes to heels that have worked really well with Cena in the past, there are a lot of the times heels like Gunther. So to me, it's a match made in heaven, and I think it'd be a great way to give Cena his 17th championship run. Now I'm going to go kill this Fly. Let's go. Come on, motherfucker. That's what I thought. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. All right, let's continue. I've been a Bronson Reed hater for a long time. I've always said the day he gets people to react to anything he does is the day that I become a fan. Yesterday, that was the day. 6 tsunamis to one of your top guys is insane, and the crowd reaction too was incredible. Very good stuff from Bronson. Excited to see what's next from him. This was Bronson Reed's make or break moment in his WWE career, and he took that moment, and my God, he took that ball and ran with it all the way for a touchdown. He scored a goal, a hole-in-one. He scored a three-pointer. Every single sports analogy that you can use right now, you should use it for Bronson Reed, because that was a career-defining moment for Bronson Reed. He took his opportunity and he made the most of it. That really was incredibly impactful. One of the most buzzworthy moments of the entire night, an already fantastic show. And Bronson Reed, shockingly, is the one that's left me with the most desire to want to talk about him. Shout out to Bronson Reed. Huge kudos, of course, have to go to Seth Rollins, the other part of the equation here, because he made those tsunamis and sold those tsunamis like they were like the most devastating thing on the planet. Somebody replied to the previous hot take with this, and I thought this was hilarious. A Bronson Reed apology form to Bronson Reed from blank date blank. Reason for behavior: the media convinced me he was mid. Fat phobia. I was jealous of his meaty physique. I thought Monday Night Meat was just a joke. I don't know ball. I thought he was just a mid-carder. Everyone should be filling this out and signing it and sending it to Bronson Reed. While Gunther versus Orton is a big money feud, I just hate that it feels like filler to me. We all know Gunther is going to retain at Bash in Berlin. I totally do understand where you're coming from. However, let me maybe put you at ease here. Even though it is a filler arc and we know that Gunther is going to retain, just remember that we were saying the exact same thing about AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes going into Backlash, and that ended up being an absolutely fantastic match that led to an amazing feud for several months. So if that's the type of story and feud and matches that we can expect from Gunther versus Randy Orton, then I'm here for it, and I'm okay if it's filler so long as it leads to great television, just like Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles was. Raw likes to hype us up by giving us an hour without commercials. Then the last 2 hours, I feel more screen time is given to commercials than the actual show. Yeah, I feel like this is maybe a contractual obligation. They can say, yeah, you know, the first hour is commercial free, but I'm sure that they still have an obligation to play X amount of minutes worth of commercials throughout the entire 3 hours. So all they do is take the commercials that they didn't play in hour 1 and use them across hour 2 and hour 3. This happens every time they do an hour free show. It's never hour free. Like it is an hour free, but it's never like those commercials are gone and disappeared. They will put them in front of you at some point or another at some point in the show. The Terror Twins reunion was simply cinema. I couldn't hold my happiness when Rhea came out. Me too. I thought that this was one of the best moments of all of this already fantastic Monday Night Raw. I cannot wait to see more from the Terror Twins. I'm sure that we're going to see a combination of various mixed tag matches involving Liv Morgan, Dominik Mysterio, and the other members of the Judgment Day, of course, Finn Balor. So I'm just excited to see those two on screen together because their chemistry is just so good. This is one of those situations. I know that there isn't a division for it, but it'd be cool if there was a mixed tag championship. I'm not advocating for that, but if there was, my goodness, come on, wouldn't like the perfect champions be the Terror Twins right now? I'm loving Raw right now, but one of the things that's making me sad is that they won't give Jey Uso a singles push. He's so over with the fans, and I would love to see more of him as a singles competitor or even a champion. I'm assuming you do love him considering your username is the Yeet Movement. But yeah, I feel like the train is slowly starting to disappear here when it comes to the singles push of Jey Uso. But here's the thing, we clearly now have evidence that Triple H is really good at just starting things from 10, right? You can take somebody that's been cold for like the past year, like a Bronson Reed, and all of a sudden, boom, put him to 10 and instantly in a main event push. They did it with Shinsuke Nakamura last year as well, and they kind of did it with Solo Sikoa as well, who was on this phenomenally ludicrously long losing streak, and then boom, all of a sudden main event guy. So I'm sure there has to be something in the wings for Jey Uso because, as you said, he's so undeniably popular, but this is an era where they could just call your name at any moment and you just have to be ready to take the ball and run with it. The Wyatt Sicks debut was everything. Great spots and amazing callbacks, 10 out of 10. I love the debut as well. I know that there's some people that are like, well, now the cat's out of the bag. They're just people that wrestle. I mean, it's a wrestling show, folks. People wrestle. It's just, I don't know what to tell you. That's just how it works. But I love the aura and mystery still left behind with this group, as Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, as well as the Witch were watching the match as opposed to getting involved. So there's still that ounce of mystery there as to what an in-ring Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy would look like. You know what's funny though? I almost feel like this Wyatt Sicks stuff is almost maybe like 3 months too early, because think of how much better this would be if they were going after Finn Balor's Judgment Day after all of the family betrayals that they committed. I'm sure they'll eventually go after them, but they'll be going after them after, you know, as people have been saying, the cat being out of the bag. Had they debuted against this version of the Judgment Day that's done all of these backstabs on family members, I feel like it would have been better than Alpha Academy or American Made, whatever they're calling themselves now. Bronson Reed is absolutely ready for the main event scene and even a title push after last night. I don't know about a title push, but I think that we are ready to see a lot more of Bronson Reed in the main event picture. Whether that leads to a title or not, I don't know. I know that the world title pictures on both sides are just so convoluted that it's difficult to even try to visualize how somebody that hasn't always been part of that title picture can even break into that world. So I'm just having a tough time visualizing Bronson Reed going for world titles, but I'm here for the main event run. I hope that this isn't a flash in the pan little push like they did with Shinsuke Nakamura. Funnily enough, at around this exact same time last year, remember the lead up to Fastlane and Payback when they just needed somebody new in the main event scene? Shit, now I'm concerned that this is just a repeat of that. No, get that out of my head.
Yeah. There you go, kid. So this would have been short. Oh man, Jeff, there's another table.
Where are these tables spawning from? Oh my God! Invisible Man is dead.
Let's go.
Oh my God!
All right, give me my money, man.
Oh, nice. That was a sneak peek of this week's Wrestling is Cool Match Club, which is available exclusively on patreon.com/SantiZap. This week, we're going to be looking at the 2002 Tables, Ladders, and Chairs Classic. We're looking at the famous Randy Orton versus Cactus Jack street fight from Backlash 2004. We're looking at the famous The Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan in GCW. We're looking at Edge versus Jeff Hardy in a ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship at Extreme Rules 2009. And the technical classic that was CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan at Over the Limit 2012. You can find these and every single other Wrestling is Cool Match Club watch along that we've done over on patreon.com/SantiZap. Over there, you'll also get the Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, and the Wrestling is Cool podcast 3 days earlier than everyone else in the world. So go check it out. I'm confident that if you even give it just 1 month, that you're gonna fall in love with it. There's content that we release on there that cannot appear on YouTube. It's just impossible. And there's content every single day on the Patreon. Okay, that's it. Back to the video. Damian has elevated himself so much since WrestleMania. He needs another title run in the near future. Damian Priest is here to stay. Damian Priest has absolutely earned his keep, and he is a main event guy. I know that there were a lot of questions and a lot of concerns during his time as Mr. Senor Money in the Bank, but ever since winning that championship, he just keeps taking bigger leaps and bounds, and every single PLE cycle he just gets a lot more believable and a lot better. And I have to acknowledge that I was very down on Damian Priest as a world champion, and I was one of those guys that he won over with his excellent work every single time that he was on screen and in every single match. So huge shout out to the full transformation of Damian Priest over the last 5 months. This man has gone from somebody that I could have done without being on TV to somebody that I feel personally is now must watch. Finn should have been the face in this feud and not the heel. He was the first to get screwed over by Priest. Yeah, but Priest's screw job of Finn Balor was an accident. It wasn't on purpose, so I disagree with you there. On top of that, I don't know, man. I'm just saying that the most recent iterations of babyface Finn Balor just haven't exactly worked. So I don't know why we would be going back to the well of something that wasn't particularly that beloved by fans. Meanwhile, Damian Priest as a babyface has been gaining a lot more momentum, and it wouldn't have made a lot of sense to have him reach this peak of momentum only to then all of a sudden turn that upside down and make him go back to being a heel and trying to get heat for himself. I don't like your idea. I'm sorry. Dom is a great man. He saved his girl Liv. What a hero, right? That's what I've been saying. This man thought that he had carried away Liv Morgan away from danger, but he didn't realize that she got stuck and she was about to get put through a table by Rhea Ripley, and Dominik Mysterio could have ran away, but guess what? He is a gallant gentleman. He called the cavalry and he went right back for Liv Morgan and saved her from inevitable doomsday from that monster that is Rhea Ripley. Dominik Mysterio deserves the Medal of Honor. Dominik Mysterio deserves the key to the city of Baltimore, and Dominik Mysterio more than anything deserves your love, adoration, and respect right now. I'm so happy that one of the top prizes, the World Heavyweight Championship, isn't in a long story feud like Cody's. The stories are refreshing, the feuds are hot, and the holders are fucking deserving. I hate feeling like we have to wait for The Rock to come back for something significant to happen. Caveman, dap me up, because you and I are on the same page. I'm exactly in the same frame of mind that you are. I feel like the World Heavyweight Championship can absolutely be the revolving door World Championship where we give, the traditional main eventers a chance to get back on top while also giving new faces like Gunther, like Damian Priest, a chance to prove themselves as world champion material. Because look at what happened with Damian Priest. Had Damian Priest not been champion, had Damian Priest not been given the opportunity to try and make something out of himself as the World Heavyweight Champion, I don't think that he is this uber popular babyface that we have right now. They really did what they used to do in the Ruthless Aggression era, which is like, hey, let's just give all kinds of different people and different names a chance as a world champion, and let's see if they can make something out of themselves. And that was the formula that worked for guys like John Cena, like JBL, like Eddie Guerrero back in the Ruthless Aggression era, and it worked for Damian Priest. So I'd like to see more of that. After a year and a half, Odyssey Jones' debut was actually really damn good. Who? The jokes are done. That's it. That's the last time that you're going to hear me say who, because I'll tell you who. It's Odyssey goddamn Jones. That man sidewalk slammed two like 400 pounders at the same time. That guy's an absolute monster. He's a beast. Where have they been hiding him? Why has he been in catering this entire time? Why has he been in the performance center for 2 years? What did it take him longer to come than Veer? Jesus Christ, give us more Odyssey Jones. He is the most improved wrestler of 2024, both in ring and character wise. I would actually agree with you here. I think that if I were doing my end of the year awards and I was doing the award for most improved or breakout superstar of the year, I think Damian Priest is at the top of my list here. Raw after SummerSlam is greater than Raw after WrestleMania this year. It absolutely was. That was one of the best Monday Night Raws that I've seen in a very, very long time. Not only was it a good show in terms of booking, in terms of matches, in terms of surprises, debuts, returns, but it was also just in front of a crowd that elevated an already good show to make it feel even more special. I've talked about how important live crowds are at either elevating a show to being and feeling better than it actually was, or taking a good show and making it feel worse than it actually was. And the Baltimore crowd did this show an absolute service by making it and elevating it even more. This was a great episode of Raw all around. Ludwig Kaiser has proved that he's a star with main event potential. I think he's a future world champion. I agree with you. I thought that it was weird that he lost to Sheamus on his return to Monday Night Raw, considering they're about to build to go to Berlin and this man is from Germany. Like, you'd think that you'd be starting to build something up for Ludwig Kaiser to at the very least showcase him in front of a home country crowd that's going to be going crazy for Ludwig Kaiser, but I guess not. We'll see. There's still several weeks to build up Ludwig Kaiser. You say he's a future world champion. I agree with you. I think that he's got this intangible, inexplainable asset that makes him this like believable Bond villain. Yeah, I know that they call him the human Ken doll. I see him more as a James Bond villain. It's something that I haven't seen anyone else be able to replicate as well as Ludwig Kaiser does. And because he's so unique in that fashion, I feel like he could be somebody that they put a world strap on in the future. Sonya's new faction is actually fire. We're watching different shows, bro. I'm pretty sure at one point the crowd was chanting boring during their match, which is rude. Don't like that sucks, but it is just not doing it for me. This might have been the best Raw in recent memory. It felt like a Raw after Mania, but bigger, knowing we're headed to the second half of the year. I actually think that it was really important for the WWE to create this feeling that the Raw after SummerSlam is a special show, because that's the mindset that we have for the Raw after WrestleMania. And they're trying to make SummerSlam into a WrestleMania-esque like show by making it a two-night affair, by having the road to SummerSlam, where the WrestleMania has the road to WrestleMania that starts at the Royal Rumble. Now we have the start of the road to SummerSlam that starts at King and Queen of the Ring. So they're replicating a lot of the things that make WrestleMania and WrestleMania season special. And I feel like the cherry on top is having a great Raw after SummerSlam. I love the new Gable team. Oh, Jesus. Guys, this is not a Reddit video, okay? That's where you send your memes, but this is good. I like this. That Baltimore crowd deserves a future PLE. That might have been the best Monday Night Raw crowd of the year. Yeah, I think it was an absolutely rowdy crowd from beginning to end. I'm sure it helped that it's close to Cleveland. So people that are the diehard fans that went to SummerSlam probably made the drive over to Baltimore to watch this show as well, which is what usually tends to happen for the Raw after WrestleManias. It's usually the hardcore that went to WrestleMania also buy tickets to Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's carryover from the SummerSlam crowd, which was also fantastic. Gunther World Heavyweight Championship title reign will be longer than the IC title reign. I hope not. Like I said earlier, I just don't see a need for that. I really don't see it. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for sending in your hot takes. That's it. I'm done. Okay, get out of here. Go.